Hello guys, welcome back to Pop and Glamour. In this video today, I'll show you how to create this video game in ChatGPT 5 and then how to insert this in Articulate Storyline. Please stay tuned. Alright, so the first step that you need to do is you need to prompt ChatGPT 5 to create this video game. And while you're prompting it, make sure that you want to tell ChatGPT that you are trying to and you will be inserting this as a web object in Articulate Storyline. So that's one important thing apart from the other specifications which I have done here. And at the end, make sure that you actually tell ChatGPT that use some string like I've used platformerComplete to know in the script that the game has completed. So I'll let you know why we are saying this and how we can connect this in our later stages. So that's step number one. So once you give this prompt, ChatGPT 5 will run this prompt and it will generate a huge JavaScript. So step one can be either JavaScript or it can be HTML5 file directly. In most of the cases, in general, when you ask ChatGPT to create a video game, it will give you the JavaScript and it will ask you to save it in Notepad as HTML file. And when you open that HTML file, it opens in browser. The next thing is you can ask it to generate it as an HTML file directly rather than you making an HTML file from the JavaScript. Okay, so I've asked it to deliver as an HTML file directly. So when the HTML file is generated in ChatGPT 5, you can download it, obviously. So once you download it, you open it and you see that the game is ready. Okay, so step one is done. Now step two, what you need to do is you create a project in Storyline. What I've done is I've inserted a new slide. For example, the learner has completed the quiz and he scored 100%. So you want to give him a bonus like, okay, hey, you know what, you want to go to the next lesson or you want to play a game. So when he clicks on play game, it goes to the next slide, which is this slide. And on this slide, I have inserted the game already. So let me show you how. So what I did is I went to insert and I said web object. And I click on web object and then it asks you to enter a web address or you can browse. So I'll go ahead and browse it and I go to my desktop where I've saved the game into games and then I have the game saved here. So when you open this game, you will not find the HTML file. So what you need to do is select the folder itself and Articulate will find that object. Okay, so I'll click on cancel because it's already inserted here. And one more thing I forgot to say is when you are inserting it, make sure it is selected display in slide and also load web object automatically is selected. Otherwise, it will not be working properly. Okay, so let me click on cancel because I've already inserted. Okay, so that's step number two, which is inserting the web object, inserting the game as the web object in Articulate Storyline. So that is done. Now, the third thing is you will have to make sure and see how do you communicate the game with Storyline. So if you remember in the script, I have said that we have created this platform complete, which is triggered when the game is completed. So let's tap into this one and create a JavaScript. So I've already created a JavaScript. So this is a JavaScript which triggers when platformer complete is reached in the game. And then we are setting some variables called game complete is true. So the others are like coins, death, and difficulty, which are not mandatory. The game complete is mandatory. Make sure you know the proper case of this game complete. If G is small or C, so make sure you note this particular variable. All right, so you need to copy paste this into the JavaScript trigger. So how do I created this? How did I create this? Is I went to triggers and on action I selected where is my execute JavaScript? Yes, and then when I came here and I pasted the JavaScript. All right. And when the variable changes, I'll select the variable okay. So that's how you do it. And it has to be selected when the timeline starts on this slide. So as soon as the timeline starts, we want this particular JavaScript to run. Okay. So when timeline starts on this slide, so this has to be selected. That's how you will communicate the game to storyline, and that's how storyline will know that the game has completed, that the learner has completed the game. Then you'll have to create the variable which we were talking about, which is game complete, and set it as false as default. Then after creating this variable, you need to call this variable. So I will create a new layer called congratulations, and I will say, you have completed the game. I hope you enjoyed it. Now click on this to proceed to the next lesson. Okay. And when will I call this? So I will say show layer congratulations when the game complete changes, and if the game complete is true. Okay. So if you remember, the default is false. And as soon as the game completes here in the JavaScript, it is true. And as soon as it's true, it changes and the congratulations layer appears. That's it. These are the steps that you need to do. Now let's see how it is working. So let's go ahead and publish this. So when you publish it, you will not be publishing it to LMS for now because I don't have a working LMS on my laptop. So I will be not even doing to review. We'll go to the web and we will publish our game. Say publish. Okay, I published it. Now let's view project. Okay, it should be collapsed. All right, so it says, okay, congratulations, you have completed. So I click on play game. All right, let's click on easy. It's very, all right, let's play the game now. So I have kept all the coins as mandatory, and I will be, that reminds me of Mario, and this is really Mario, my childhood favorite. Oops. Okay, okay, all right. Alas. Okay, so it says you have reached and this is a platformer complete string when get launches, and as soon as it turns true, see the congratulations layer has triggered. So I'll say okay, proceed to the next lesson.